welcome back to this channel. If this is your first time stopping by, subscribe first, because today we will talk about the figure who is referred to as the Golden Magne, someone who seems to be able to do everything perfectly. His name is Jungkook, main vocalist, dancer, rapper, producer, painter, athlete, and many more. But wait a minute, behind all that perfection, there are other sides to Jungkook that you may not know yet. And today, we're going to break it all down. From surprising facts about his childhood, hidden fears, unique habits, to the most honest moments he has ever expressed himself. This is not just an ordinary profile. This is a journey to get to know the real Jungkook. So make sure you're sitting comfortably, because this video is going to be long and it's worth every second. Let's go! Jungkook was born on September 1st, 1997 in Busan, South Korea. He is the youngest of two brothers. Raised in Mandeokdong, a simple area in Busan, little Jungkook did not come from a well-off family. First surprising fact, Jungkook almost didn't become an idol. She first appeared in an audition for the reality show program Superstar K in 2011. She was only 13 years old at that time. And the results? He did not advance to the next round. But that's where fate played a role. Several major record labels glanced at him during the audition. Big Hit Entertainment is one of them. And Jungkook admitted himself that the reason he chose Big Hit wasn't because it was the biggest or most famous label, but because he saw RM rap. Yes, just because of one RM rap performance, a 13-year-old boy from Busan decided his future. Just imagine, at the age of 13, Jungkook had to leave his family in Busan, move to Seoul alone, live in a trainee dormitory, and begin a brutal training process. He had to learn vocals, dance, rap, acting all from scratch, almost every day without a day off. But there is one thing that is rarely highlighted. Jungkook once experienced a period where he was very homesick and almost gave up. In several interviews, he admitted that the trainee period was the loneliest period in his life. Far from parents, far from old friends, and don't have any close friends in Seoul. We all know Jungkook is called the Golden Magne because of his versatile abilities. But how deep is that ability? Let's dissect one by one. Regarding vocals, Jungkook has an extraordinarily wide vocal range. He can hit high notes with a strong chest voice, but can also switch to falsetto smoothly. Vocal experts on YouTube have analyzed his voice many times, and the results are always the same. His technique is very mature for a pop idol. What is surprising is how he has developed as a producer. The song Euphoria is one of ARMY's favorite BTS anthems. Jungkook was involved in writing and producing it. The solo song Still With You, which he released for free on SoundCloud during Festa 2020, immediately went viral and is considered one of the best works in BTS's overall discography. About the dance, this is the most surprising. Jungkook is not BTS's main dancer, that's J-Hope and Jimin, but his dance level is on par with them. Even in several freestyle challenges recorded by the rear camera, BTS's own choreographer commented that Jungkook had extraordinary muscle memory. He could remember and repeat movements with high precision just after seeing them a few times. Then there is visual art. Jungkook is a talented painter. His paintings that have been displayed at ARMY or sold for charity show a level that is far above average. But what's more surprising, he taught himself to paint, never taking formal classes. And sports, Jungkook was once named the strongest idol, according to several programs. He can lift weights, swim at high speed, play football, play basketball. He even has a Taekwondo belt. In Run BTS episodes and behind-the-scenes content, Jungkook's physical appearance is always in the spotlight. But there is one fact that makes you surprised. Even though all of these talents look natural, Jungkook himself once admitted in an interview that he doesn't feel naturally talented. According to him, everything he achieved was the result of repeated hard training. He was the type of person who would repeat one movement or one note hundreds of times until it was perfect. That's not talent, that's extreme discipline. A perfect man on stage, but an ordinary man behind it. This is the part that is least discussed, but it is the most important to understand. Jungkook is an ordinary person with fears, weaknesses, and a fragile side that is often hidden behind his Golden Magne image. First surprising fact, Jungkook has a phobia of microphones. Not a stage microphone, but an interview microphone, especially when he has to talk about himself in depth. He often looks uncomfortable, answers briefly, or changes the topic when questions get too personal. This is not because he is arrogant. On the contrary, he is very shy and introverted. Jungkook has also admitted that he often feels like he is not good enough, although he appears outwardly confident. In in-depth interviews, he often expresses uncertainty about himself. He once said that he hated hearing his own voice when recording and often felt that the results were not good enough. There was a very memorable moment in an emotional speaking session with BTS for the UNICEF Love Myself campaign. Jungkook cried when talking about how difficult it is to love yourself. He admitted that it was precisely the message they conveyed to the world that love yourself was the hardest thing for him to do himself. Loneliness in the middle of a crowd. Being an idol means your life is under the spotlight 24 hours a day. Jungkook has expressed several times how hard it is to lose his privacy. He couldn't go to a normal cafe, couldn't go for a walk in the park, couldn't do the things normal people did without being instantly recognized. In one particularly candid live broadcast, Jungkook admitted that there are nights where he sits alone in his room and wonders what it would be like to live a normal life. Not because he regrets becoming an idol, but because there is a small part of him that misses simplicity. And here's the most surprising thing. Jungkook once went through a period where he questioned his own identity. At a very young age, he already had to become Jungkook the idol and sometimes forgot who the real John Jungkook was. The process of finding your true self behind the mask of perfection is a long and painful journey. Random things that make you get to know Jungkook better. Okay, let's lighten the mood a bit. Apart from all that serious stuff, there are many unique facts and habits of Jungkook that make us smile. First, Jungkook is a true night owl. He is famous as the BTS member who stays awake most of the time until morning. Many of his live broadcasts start at midnight and last for hours. He once said that night was the most peaceful time for him because everyone was asleep and the world felt calmer. Second, he has a fairly extreme obsession with cleanliness. Other BTS members often joke that Jungkook is the neatest person among them. He doesn't like his things messy and often rearranges areas that he thinks are disorganized. Jimin once told me that Jungkook would tidy up the dining table even in the middle of eating if something didn't look right. Third, Jungkook has a habit of bunny mode. When he is happy or enthusiastic, performances due to strict regulations in the Korean entertainment industry regarding tattoos. But as time went on, and as BTS got bigger, that attitude changed. In 2023, Jungkook officially debuted as a solo artist by releasing his first album, Golden. And the music world was never the same after that. The song 7, which became his first single, immediately broke various records. This is the first song by a Korean artist to top the charts in more than 100 countries at once. On the Billboard Hot 100, 7 topped the list, a very rare achievement even for an international artist. But what's more surprising than just the numbers is Jungkook's artistic transformation. In the album Golden, he shows a different side of himself, more mature, bolder, more experimental. The genres he explores range from pop, dance, to ballad, all delivered with surprising naturality. Standing Next to You is a clear proof of its evolution. The song, which is inspired by the Michael Jackson era and funk soul, showcases Jungkook vocal and dance abilities on a different level. International music critics, who are usually very critical of K-pop music, gave sincere praise to this performance. What you also need to know is the fact that Jungkook is very involved in the creative process of his solo album. He is not only the face, he is active in writing lyrics, song selection, MV visual direction, and even fashion concepts for promotions. This shows that he is not only a performer, but also an artist in the true sense. Career-changing collaboration. Before the solo album, Jungkook had already shown off through several very influential international collaborations. He collaborated with Charli D'Amelio, worked with Charlie Puth, or better known as Left and Right, and of course sang the official song for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Dreamers himself, representing all of K-pop in front of a global audience. At the end of 2023, Jungkook will follow in the footsteps of other BTS members to undergo mandatory military service, which applies to all South Korean men. He enlists with V and joins the same unit as G. For millions of armies around the world, this news is certainly not news that is easy to accept. But Jungkook's own response was very mature and mature. In his message to fans before leaving, he did not complain or show excessive concern. Instead, he calmed ARMY and asked them to stay happy while he was away. What is surprising is how quickly Jungkook transformed once he entered the military. Photos circulating on social media show Jungkook with short hair, a more masculine appearance, and a calmer and more mature expression. The fans were excited because he looked more handsome than before, if that was possible. This military service period is a true test, not only for Jungkook as an individual, but also for ARMY's loyalty. And so far, the results speak for themselves. The fandom remains active, Jungkook's works continue to be screened, and enthusiasm for his return only grows greater with each passing day. One thing we need to admit is that Jungkook's influence has gone beyond the boundaries of the music industry. He is a cultural phenomenon that influences fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and even the economy. Every time Jungkook wears certain clothes or accessories, the products sell out worldwide in a matter of hours. This phenomenon has earned the special name Jungkook effect. Several brands from indie to luxury have felt the direct impact of this effect. He is also a brand ambassador for several large global brands, and the effect of his endorsements always results in a significant increase in sales. This shows that Jungkook's influence is not only among ARMY, but has spread to general consumers who may not be too familiar with BTS. Records that are no joke. Let's talk numbers for a moment. Jungkook holds so many Guinness World Records that it's hard to count them. Starting from the Korean solo artist with the most streams on Spotify to the first artist to reach certain milestones on various digital platforms. As a member of BTS, he has performed in front of hundreds of thousands of audiences at concerts, been part of world tours that have broken multiple ticket sales records, and contributed to albums that have dominated global charts. But as an individual, his accomplishments are just as impressive, if not more so. After everything we discussed earlier, one big question still remains. Who really is Jungkook? The answer may be simpler than we think. Behind all the labels of golden magnate, global superstar, perfect idol, record breaker, there is a young man from Busan who dreams big, works hard beyond limits, and never stops learning. He is living proof that perfection is not a gift from the sky, but the result of thousands of hours of practice, hundreds of moments of failure that we never see, and the courage to continue standing even though we have fallen many times. What is most surprising of all the facts we are discussing today is not his records, not his talents, not his physical appearance, but the fact that behind it all, Jungkook is someone who is still struggling to love himself, someone who is still growing, and someone who honestly admits that his journey is not finished. And maybe that's what's most perfect about Jungkook, his human imperfection. So, those are the surprising facts behind Jungkook's perfection. Which fact surprised you the most? Write in the comments column. I'm really curious about your answers. If this video is useful and you enjoy it, don't forget to like, share with friends who are also ARMY, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also press the bell button so you don't miss the next videos. In the next video, we will discuss surprising facts about other BTS members, and maybe there is one that will really surprise you more than Jungkook. Curious? Look forward to it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.